In today's video, we're going to show you how to get massive horsepower and torque gains on your BMW. Hey, this is Brian. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more BMW content and visit us at kiesmotorsports.com. If you followed our channel for any length of time, you will know that we love tuning our cars with boot mode. We've done it on my Ferrari red F80 M3. Look at this. John's M3 over here that has over 800 horsepower to the wheels. 819 to the wheels, 794 foot-pound torque. Chris's F3340, my F3335, Edwin's G20 M340i, and many, many more. Well, today, the X7 is getting the boot mode treatment. Now, when you think about adding horsepower to a car, you may immediately be drawn to maybe an intake or an exhaust, which will give you 5, maybe 10 horsepower. But with these new turbo BMWs, they make it so that you can add an incredible amount of power with a laptop. Now, from the factory, these BMWs are conservatively tuned, and most of it is around making sure that you have the best fuel economy. But with a boot mode flash tune, what it does is it alters the parameters that control your boost, your fueling, your timing, and more to optimize the performance in your BMW. So let me show you how easy it is to tune your BMW, and then stay tuned to the end because we're going to show you the results. Now, when you're flashing with boot mode, you're going to need just a handful of things. First, you're either going to need to have an Android or an Apple phone or some kind of laptop. It works on both Mac and PC. Personally, I like flashing from a Mac. Next, you're going to need a cable to connect to your car. So this is an Ethernet cable. It's OBD2 on one side and Ethernet on the other. Do not buy one that is a USB because it's not going to work. Now, you are going to need some kind of adapter. For my computer, I need USB-C to Ethernet. If you're using it on an iPhone, we also have them available where it's Ethernet on one side and Lightning on the other. Outside of that, all you need is a boot mode license. So that's also available at kiesmotorsports.com, which is also linked down below. So with that, let's plug in our OBD into the car, which on the X7 is located right down here. So plug that in just like that. Okay, next you're going to plug your Ethernet into your adapter and then into your computer. After that, you're going to want to have that license handy. It's instantly emailed to you right after purchase, and we're going to go to bootmod.net. Now, it's spelled BOOTMOD3, but it's pronounced boot mode. So once you're here, you're going to need to sign in with a new account. Once you've created your account, you're going to be drawn to this page, and you're going to click this big button right here that says click to activate. Then copy and paste that activation key and hit enter, and it's going to add the vehicle to your account. Another thing to note is that you can only have one car per email address, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so here is the home screen. Yours will probably not say OBD connected, yours will probably say disconnected, and then there's going to be a link that says you need to download the Obd Agent. The way the boot mode works is it's browser delivered, and you have to use Chrome when you do it, so again, you can use it on a Mac or a PC, but you need to have what's called the boot mode agent running on your computer. So basically, this software is really responsible for connecting your computer to your car, and then all the other magic happens through Chrome. The cool thing about this is that it's cloud delivered. So say I don't have my computer with me and I want to flash the car. Well, I can use Zach's computer, I can use his phone, you can use any other family member or friend's devices, and all of your data remains exactly the same. Up here at the top, we have a little menu. You have your vehicle, and you want to make sure that that's blue and says OBD connected. Dashboard, this is really something you're going to get into if you start doing more so custom tuning, whatnot, making sure that all of your parameters are exactly where you need them to be. We're going to skip over live adjust for now. If you start doing data logs, and that's again just tracking all the parameters of your car, all of the fueling, the timing, everything, that's going to appear in data logs. But where you're really going to spend most of your time is here under My Maps. Now you will notice immediately that it says stock tune. Cool thing about boot mode, it automatically saves your factory tune. Now I know on some older cars I used to be involved in Subaru tuning, if you didn't save it, goodbye tune, because your factory tune is gone. Now at the top of the screen on the left, you're going to see where it says OTS maps, and then on the right it's going to say custom maps. So if you want to go the custom map route, we can help you with that. Again, we'll have another link in the description, but for today we're going to focus on OTS, which stands for off the shelf. So we're going to click that, and once you're in here, you'll see all of the different maps. Now, With a basic boot mode license, if you don't have the bundle, you get access to just one tune. So you can see stage 0, which you're gonna have that included as well. So that's a little freebie, but you're gonna pick from stage 191 octane, stage 193. If you see anything that says ACN, that's Arizona, California, and Nevada, because the gas quality is not too awesome out there. You're also gonna see stage 2, and sometimes you'll see things like E30, that's ethanol blend. You might see hybrid turbo, race gas, and more. But for today, we want to show you how to flash your car if you have no modifications at all. Now, although we have 93 octane out here, and that's what I use in all of the other cars, this is my wife's car, and I don't want to have to force her to get 93 octane anywhere she goes. So I'm just going to go with a basic stage 1 91 octane map. Once you click the map, you're going to hit Get Tune. We're going to confirm by clicking Yes. And we have success. Now, if you have that bundle, which is that available add-on, you will have access to everything. It's not just one. But for most people, you only need a basic license. Now, when it comes to flashing, it is incredibly easy. You're going to click the map, and then you just hit this giant red button that says flash, and you can either download and flash later, or you can flash now. Now, whenever you're flashing your car, you always want to make sure that your battery is charged a decent amount and that you put your seatbelt on. And then I'm going to confirm and hit flash. The reason that you want to have your seatbelt on is because there's a module in the seatbelt that actually tells the computer system in the car not to shut off while you're flashing, which is something you don't want to have happen. Now, the first time you're flashing, it's going to take maybe 3 minutes or so. It used to take almost a half hour, which was crazy, but it's just come such a long way, and the guys over at Pro Tuning Freaks that develop the software just do an incredible job. Now, while your car is flashing, do not freak out, because your car is gonna light up like a Christmas tree. I have a drivetrain malfunction, chassis stabilization, cross traffic warning, all kinds of stuff, but don't worry, it's just part of the process. And once this is done, once that gets to 100%, it's gonna clear everything out just like it was before we started. Another thing, when you're initially doing your unlock in your first flash, it takes 3 minutes or so, maybe 4 minutes. But after that, it takes about 30 seconds if you just want to flip back and forth without actually locking the DME. All right, so as you can see, everything was flashed successfully. So we can hit OK. You turn the car off for roughly 5 seconds or so, and then start it up. If you start it up and have a check engine light, just turn the car off and turn it on again, and that will go away. That has been more than 5 seconds. Moment of truth. All right, we are golden. And no check engine light, no warnings, and we are ready to rock. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, what did you actually do? Did it actually do anything? Well, if you take a look at my chart over here, it actually talks about the horsepower gains per map. So we're on the most basic of the most basic, stage 1 91 octane. It gets you an 18% horsepower increase and a 26% increase in torque. So because this car comes with 330 horsepower and 300 torque, that means we gain about 60 horsepower and about 85 foot-pound torque. So let's go out and see if we can feel it. All right, so right now we're going to do some testing. So right now the car is on the stock tune, and I have it in sport mode with DSC off, and we are going to track the performance with Draggy along with some little GoPro action here, so you can see side by side what the before is and also the after. And then what we're gonna do, instead of actually launching the car, I'm gonna come to a complete stop, and then I'm just gonna put my foot down just so it's very consistent. That way I don't have to worry about making sure that I was at the exact RPM on both runs. All right, on that test, our 0 to 60 was 6.44 seconds, and our quarter mile was a 14.48. So not a bad number for a stock X7. I mean, this thing weighs like 5 million pounds. So I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen when we flash it with stage 1. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing. This thing feels so strong. It's such a tank, but it's so strong. All right, 14.44 for the quarter mile, so very consistent. And the 0 to 60 was 6.28 seconds. So again, 14.44, very consistent with stock. And I'm shocked, I haven't put my foot to the floor in this car. I don't think ever. We've had it for like 4 months. Man, this thing moves, and especially for as big and heavy it is. All right, let's do those runs again on boot mode stage 1 and see the improvements. Here we go. All right, so immediately it feels better. $13.62. We made this X7 a 13-second car with a flash tune. Oh my gosh, and the 0 to 60 was 5.52. Again, I'm not launching. If we launch, we could get better numbers. Man, this is a quick car. It's a boat too. So you can imagine what this, we've experienced it all the time. But you can imagine what this does in something like an M340i or a Supra that's significantly smaller with this same engine. It's just complete night and day. And then the other thing that we'll talk about in a little bit, but it has a lot more power when you put your foot down, but just cruising around town, you still have ultimate drivability. It's not, you're not sacrificing all this drivability. All right, let's do another one. Man, that initial first and second gear pull, unreal. $13.61, again, mid-13s on just a boot mode flash tune. Completely insane. And that time our 0 to 60 was 5.51 seconds. So you can see there are some really good gains. It took it from a 14-second car to a 13-second car. If we launched, we could probably get even better. Now I gotta say, I've done a lot of tuning. Most of what we do is 3 Series, M3s, M4s, 5 Series. We've even done some X3, X5. I've never tuned an X7 before. This is the first time. And I really didn't think that it was going to feel as good as it actually does. Now, with this car being so big and so heavy, it is incredible, the performance. Again, you can have this a 13-second car without trying. If I launched it, it would probably be lower 13s. But I'm not building up boosts or anything. I'm just putting the foot down just for more consistency's sake. So overall, super impressed. It also makes the car a lot more fun to drive, especially if you do drive with the paddles. That way you can float a little bit higher RPM in those lower gears, and you just feel this thing pull like it's never pulled before. So definitely one of the best things that you can do to this car. Not only the X7, but like I said, 3 Series, 4 Series, many of the turbo BMW applications. Now, as you may know about BMWs, they have a million computers in them, and there's a computer called the DME that controls all of your motor functions. Now, in cars that are pretty much 2018 for the most part and older, you don't need to do anything special. You can just hook the computer up. It's going to go through an unlock process, and then you'll be able to flash your car. We will do it with that M3, my 335, and many other cars. However, BMW has since made some tweaks into their software, and this data might change as the future goes on. But for now, if you have a car that's 2019 and newer, which this is a 2020 X7, you may need to have your DME professionally unlocked. What you can do is you can take your DME and send it to a company like us to do what's called a bench unlock, which we're going to show you just a brief snapshot of in just 1 second. Now, it's not something that you can necessarily do from home. If you want to, you can. However, the computer to do so is about $5,000. So it is not exactly cost effective if you're only going to be doing it on one car. So let me show you that process if you need to do it. Now, if you need to pull your DME, you are going to need an E12 and an 18 mil, and that's really it. Your DME sits right under this plastic cover, which is under this little brace. So take your E12, start by removing this right there, and they're not very tight. Okay, it looks just like that. This one here with your 18 mil, and then you can actually just take this, put it to the side. All right, so this is what you need to get to. Recommend if it's a little dusty, just get some of that dirt off so it doesn't fall into your computer of the car. But basically just take this, you're just gonna pull up straight like that. There are these 3 locations right there, just mounts into this little grommet. And then you have full access to your DME, which is under all of these connections. Now, once you're here, you can see that everything is color coordinated, and also most of the time they only go in one way. But I always recommend just taking your phone out, just taking a picture of how everything is. And the other thing you can do is if you have something like this, it's just a chalk marker. You can do something like, I'm gonna put 1 dot here to simulate that this is number 1. Okay, now that I've marked it, you just press down on that little center tab, and then this works as a little bit of a lever. We're just gonna take that out, set it to the side. Okay, now that we're to this next one, I'm going to do 2 dots. 1 dot, 2 dot. And you can also kind of tell by how long the cord is and how they're bent and whatnot. Take this, press that down, lever it out, and you can see this one has way more pins than the first one, so it's pretty foolproof, but never hurts to be extra safe. You guessed it, 1, 2, 3. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, and if you can't figure out the other one's number 6, you're in trouble. So we're just not gonna mark that one. All right, there we go. Then once you have access to the DME like this, you'll notice that there's a little plastic pin right here. Little, not really a pin, it's really a clip. You just pull this back and then pull this one back, and then this whole thing is gonna slide out like this. Now, at the time of this video, what you wanna do is you wanna look at this date right here. So you can see that our production date on our DME is 5/25/2019. At the filming of this video, if it says June of 2020 or later, it's not tunable. However, if you have it say, before that date in 2020 or 2019 or even prior to that, you are tunable. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to take this over and I'm going to bench unlock it. All right, so it has finished processing and everything has been successfully unlocked. So at this point, we can unplug the power. We can remove all these little pins, and then we're ready to flash the car. All right, so once you've done that, you can just take your DME. It just goes in nice and easy. Just gonna slide it in. Once you get it past all those wires, it literally just clips in like that. Okay, then we're going to reinstall these in the reverse order. So the one that I didn't mark was the one in the back. And if it ever feels tight, don't force it, because you want to make sure that you're not going to bend or break anything, especially with these pins. They are quite fragile. Okay, then we have number 5. Slide that in, lift it up, lock it in place. Number 4, you can see they were all pretty much in order. Number 3. Number 2. Finally, number 1. Boom. So then you can take your cover, the 2 prongs go towards the back, and there. So just line that up. Make sure your little brace is out of the way. And then that's just going to snap into place, just like that. Then you can take this and you can reinstall this bolt, and you can tighten up your 18 mil down there. Okay, so once your DME has been unlocked, you'll be able to go through the entire process. With boot mode, it may still alert you that your DME is locked. However, if you've had it bench unlocked, which is what we just did, you will be able to flash it. You just click through those, and then it's going to allow you to successfully flash to the car. Now, on these newer cars, BMW is doing auto software updates. You need to make sure that you disable those to make sure that it doesn't lock your car. So if your car pops up and it has a warning that says, hey, we have a new software, do not do it, because it's going to relock your car. It's going to put you back on your stock tune, and you're going to have to do the process all over again, where you take the DME out if you need to, and then send it in, have it unlocked, and so forth. So just wanted to throw that little disclaimer in there. It is not a very complicated process. As you saw, it's just about 6 connections and just pulls right out. On some of the older cars, and even like the M3s and whatnot, it's more of a pain in the butt. It's more of like a 3-4 hour process, but it's very rare that you actually have to do it on one of those cars. Once again, my name is Brian, that's Zach behind the camera. Thanks for watching today's video. If you are interested in boot mode, DME unlocks, or anything we talked about, be sure to see the links in the description. If you haven't done so already, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe for more BMW content, and check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, now my wife is gonna jump in to get her reaction to see what she thinks of our new Stage 1 boot mode. Hey, babe. Are you ready for boot mode?
I am ready. Crazy.
Not bad for a tank, huh?
She's a good one.
How does it feel? Does it feel faster?
It definitely feels a lot faster.
So brake.
I have to put the gas on before I let go of the brake. Okay.
And then let go of the brake.
That was very fast. Oh, I felt that better. Woo!
It actually worked a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Woo! She is quick.
Give me a little paper bag.